As an owner's rep, we try and help our clients ensure that the project that they're working on is done smoothly. And most of the time that's because they've never been through that process before. So what we do is we kind of lay out the process. We make sure that we ensure that they understand the process, they understand the pathway that the project has to go through, and then we put ourselves in their shoes. We then are essentially acting as the client for the architect or for the broker, and we guide them through the proper decision-making process in order to effectuate a project that happens on time and on budget. As an owner's rep, we help demystify the process. I joke a lot about how what you see on TV, is not really what happens in real life. So we break down the various aspects of the process from going from an idea all the way to a physical built project. We break those down into the intimate steps. So as a consultant who helps lay out that game plan with the various professionals, be it architects, the engineers, master planners, and then we move into brokerage and the construction team, including all of the sub-consultants. For example, you'll have a low voltage consultant that ensures that the services for internet and for telephone are delivered in a timely manner to the project, so that by the time the first, be it unit or the first suite in an office is ready to be occupied, that all of the services are up and running, the facility's up and running. So those are, just one example of what clients don't think through all of the details at times, and that's why we're here to help them understand that process. Thinking about a particular client, they were a landholder who is not a developer. They asked us to help them put together what you call an RFQ or an RFP, a request for qualifications or a request for proposal to put out to potential developers. So not only did we help them formulate all of the best attributes to sell, to get a developer interested in looking at this property, we also, hired a drone company to take pictures that show not only their land, but all of the skyline of Atlanta behind it and how close the proximity was to some of the larger attractions in downtown Atlanta. Not only do we go through that, we go through a lot of the due diligence information, the information that we know developers want to see in order to make an informed decision about whether or not they actually want to pursue purchasing or co-developing a site for that particular client. One of the areas that we try to provide guidance on early on when there's a client who is not a developer, a lot of times they don't really understand the process of zoning a property from one particular zoning category to another. So we'll lay that out. We'll show them what their current property is capable of in the zoning district that they're in for that particular jurisdiction. And then we'll talk through what is it that they actually anticipate or would hope to have, either because they've gone through that process or because they have solicited and brought in a developer. And so we'll show them the pathway in that particular jurisdiction to get from zoning category A to zoning category B. So that's one of the many activities and services that we provide early on for developers or landholders who are starting that journey off. One of the things that we help demystify, explain, and really tie back for our clients to understand is the connection between density and cost. The type of consultants you need on a 20-story building is totally different than the ones you would need on a 3-story building. So sometimes clients who aren't developers don't recognize that just going from 4 stories to 5 stories in the United States is a much larger deal, because you'll go from one classification under the International Building Code to another. And just that one extra story causes a lot of additional expenses relative to the building. So we help to identify how those costs and whether or not there's a cost benefit analysis of adding that extra story. So if you only gain 10 more units, it may not be worth it. So that's just another example of how we bring insights to our clients as they're evaluating a deal on the front end.